powerful thing in company building. Often it can be the case that a company needs to add personnel that have next level capabilities, background, experience, interest level, investment. Some people never do buy in or have a self-motivation to the extent where they're going to really be an impact player. And when you do get enough of these people together, a certain rapport starts to come forward where really amazing things become possible. When a company crosses that line, it's time to get more serious about piecing together the positions that you have set forward in the company's operation. It becomes very important that everybody knows that their voice is meaningful in continuous improvement. It's important that we listen to people's input. It's important that we give them a language to understand how to bring forward ideas in a positive way, how to bring forward even problems, even the worst of problems, in a solution-oriented way. And that's what we want the culture of continuous improvement to be. Now, as a financially sound practice, this streamlining and this culture of continuous improvement and making things more efficient has proved itself over and over again and endlessly, and is really beyond any questioning. Now it's a matter of rolling up our sleeves and getting in there and meeting each other and connecting our motivations and providing systems and ways to really establish a winning momentum and a methodology of refined practices that are cost saving, that build engagement, that make people see a future with the outfit that they really don't want to trade away for anything else that they are going to find. And that's where engagement starts to lift the company's operating capacity to a very different place. So how do we help core personnel see a future with the company that makes them want to participate in being a part of building what the company can accomplish? That's a very important question, and what we need to do is ask what people's core code is all about, what makes people plug in, what makes people want to do their best, what makes people identify with the goals and the objectives of the outfit, and really make them want to have the reward and the satisfaction of being an impact and transformational player. Now, each of the positions that we can really fit together so that the gear mesh is very full enables the power of synergy to work through the company personnel and make it much more than the sum of its parts. As you get familiar with this, you'll see that it's not at all theoretical, it's not at all vague, it's not at all cloud talk, but it is nuts and bolts traction on the pavement and driving forward in very meaningful and results-oriented ways. Probably the single most important factor in having a core group of personnel that are not showing any signs of being a gerbil on a wheel or being in a grind hole where they really can't see the way forward is to make sure that the company's making an effort to listen to personnel's, especially core personnel and key leadership and key specialists, to make sure that you're drawing out from them their ingenuity and creative spark, because there is no other way to make people see a future that they want to be a part of except but that they can invest their drive and their motor to have a personally connected sense of satisfaction with performance of that company. Now, to get down to the nitty-gritty in this phase where the company is prepared to have key players come forward and have the core code connect and mesh and raise that performance capability, we need to decide how we're going to go about coordinating people's effort and key points of investment. One of the biggest drains of synergy is that people feel that they're spinning their wheels and they're not going anywhere. And so we need to hear that. We need to understand what adjustments need to be made. And we need to go ahead and demonstrate a responsive leadership culture that does make change, that does respond, and that is doing things that everybody agrees make sense. There can be mistakes, there can be changes of direction, but there should be clarity in the operational word of direction and what's being done. There should be clarity in ownership if it is changed, and to some extent why, though you can't always explain everything. But it's good that the core personnel feel that the company has good sense, and that's something that can be powerfully established. The first thing we want to do is identify squeaky wheels and get them the grease. The squeaky wheel gets the grease, so we want to let people hear that invitation. Hey, who's got the squeaky wheel? What in your position is not working? What needs to happen? What mesh with other team players do you need for your job duties to make more sense? And what do you need to see be different for the future to shine through to you so that you really do want to be a part of it? This is a very honest process, and it is an important dialogue between ownership, management, and core personnel. We want to weed out any ways wherein we're chasing our tail. We want to weed out ways that we're requiring employees or management to do backflips when that's not an efficient way to operate. We want standard systems that are sound, good practices, and we want to establish policy that makes us effective. We want to build in a formula of success, and we want to do it again and again. There's a strong tendency that people have and that companies have to get behind the curve and then praise and reward people for doing backflips. It's a very bad habit. We don't want to get great at emergency response and be behind the curve. We want to get great at rewarding proactivity, where we are seeing what's coming up and we're establishing sound, grounded methodology to take care of everything that's going to happen. And that way we don't take the risks that come along with the contortions and backflips and chasing your tail. We want to weed all of that out. We need to know from the core personnel anywhere that's happening. So there's some key words. Where are we chasing our tail? Where are we doing backflips? Where are we rewarding reactivity of an extreme type rather than proactivity and the building of sound systems? These are really important language keys in a culture that is going to optimize, find a way to fight costs, and take the steps that make profitability enable everyone to have a work environment that they want to have a part of the future.